Tshepisong.
Yeah.
Tshepisong?
Tshepisong phase 6.
You guys, Tshepisong.
Next to Kagiso.
Oh, Kagiso.
Oh,
yes,
Tshepisong
that's
is where you're from.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you'd give me your name. Sorry. Your full name?
Marcus Matlo.
Marcus
Matlo.
Matlo.
Yes.
From Tshepisong.
Yes.
Where's that?
Tshepisong next to Kagiso.
Next to Kagiso. Are we filming?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Tshepisong next to Kagiso.
Yeah.
Kagiso is in the West Rand.
Yes, definitely.
You said phase 6.
Phase 6, yeah.
Ah. So the Gavi is from Marcus, your name.
Yes.
Jeez, Gavi, it's nice to have you here. We've got Gavi visiting us, working camera with Sizwe Dube.
Yay!
Uba aswethu akekho umlungu.
Umlungu akekho.
Utibuko kibine. Gavi, it's nice to have you here, bro. What are you trying to achieve? You trying to just work in film? You're just trying to learn? Do you have like a big dream of about Tyler Perry?
Honestly, I want to bring a different picture with the camera.
Okay.
Yeah. Of my own vision, meaning telling a story.
You want to be a storyteller?
Yeah.
Real stories or fictional?
Camera. Meaning a camera tells a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you want to tell real stories like documentary, or do you want to tell fictional stories?
Fictional stories.
Fictional stories.
Definitely.
Okay. You want to make your own films, TV shows?
Definitely.
That's the vision.
That's the vision.
Who inspires you?
There's this DOP calls Brown, Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like his eye?
Too much.
You don't know his full name?
Trevor Brown.
Trevor Brown.
Yeah.
South African.
Yeah, he's from South Africa.
Okay. He's not based here anymore.
I think now he's in Cape Town.
Okay. Trevor Brown.
Yeah, Trevor Brown.
Director of photography, and you're saying he's got a unique eye that you like, say, that's the eye I'm aiming for.
You, Lord. Yes.
I look up his work. Marcus Matlo.
Matlo. Yes.
From Tshepisong, phase 6, near Kagiso. It's nice to have you here, brother.
Thanks for that.
Great to have you here, my bruh.
Jan Muhanwa.
Yeah.
Muhanwa.
Yeah.
Muana.
No. No Moana. Where is your mic, sis?
I don't have a mic, sir.
How is this gonna work?
Caesar is not serious. You want to shout?
This is group therapy.
No, I generally don't contribute because I want to listen.
Oh, you want to listen?
Yeah.
Caesar, we've given a shout out to your cousin.
End of fine.
Another shout out, maybe?
No.
No shout out. Kwazubani.
Yes, because
Caesar from the
Okay, Caesar Dube Ndofire. Yo, what up?
What up?
Thank you. Jan, thank you for joining me. You know, I apologize in advance to the people that are going to be watching because they've watched some of our sit downs. So they're like, I can't wait to hear what Jan is going to say about the current political climate, what's going on Mukwanazi, the 30% tariffs on South Africa, if he thinks we're moving in the right direction. And today we're not here for politics at all.
No. We will. Yeah, we tired of politics for now, so we'll get back to it some other time.
So my apologies. I tried, but this guy
disappointed. So.
It's not for me. I'm disappointed on behalf of Abahlali.
Politics is funny games, man.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I sent you 5 questions, and I don't even know if you wanna answer them at all, or if you have an agenda that you'd like us to attack from the get.
No, so I mean, like you said Mas Dennis or Papa Stan is not here today, Devza. So I just wanted to, they say there are 2 taboo subjects, and they essentially mean that's the quickest way of starting a fight in a group, right?
Very polarizing.
Yeah, very polarizing. And that's politics and religion. And we have touched on politics, so today we are.
So you're just gonna start fights? That's what you're about?
No.
You're about starting fights?
No. Even in politics, we didn't start fights. We just said there are different views. Think about them, whatever. But I feel like, and in many of your conversations, not just the conversations we have had, sort of religion features. Like last time we were talking about a big man syndrome, and then you ask the question, is it like also how people think about God? So it always featured somewhere, but it was never ever the main bride. It was never ever the, okay, today we are talking about
Sure.
religion. So we sort of brush on it and then we move on. So I thought maybe I should just come and just tackle. And also, I mean, God Penuel and Penuelism.
Nazo. Dango.
And then just debate. So I am
You came to debate
yeah, just discuss.
or discuss.
Yeah,
not
maybe
debate.
not debate. No, not debate.
I'm not here to oppose
Debate
anything.
suggests there's like strong views and opposition and whatever. No, it's discussion.
Would you like us to debate?
No, I don't have very strong views that are going to be a good foundation for the basis of. I come with a lot of ignorance in this discussion. So I think that's a wrong position on which to have debates.
You're scared to debate. is
I'm
what you're
scared
telling
to
me.
debate. I don't know enough.
So I've
to
already won.
You've already won. So let's
problem.
now that you've won, maybe we can have a discussion.
Okay. At least saying we need a guess.
So we
can go.
need
I'm going to go through the questions I sent you. Please do not feel obligated at all to answer any of them. But if ever somewhere in the discussion, maybe we feel a need to revisit, I'll go back.
yeah,
I wanted to start by asking, and maybe this is how you'll start.
yeah.
Are you religious? Are you cultural? Second question would be, do you think Christianity is a net positive or a net negative for Africans? In the same breath, do you think African customs are a net positive or a net negative for Africans in 2025? What role does religion play in communities and in assisting or destroying the human experience? We can obviously speak about what role it used to play. And then last but not least, should we be looking into alternative currencies as a way to sidestep poverty, because poverty exists due to money? Nature poverty is based on environment and laziness. So this one has nothing to do with religion. And I guess this was me taking a half gap to want to tickle a question that I'd like you to answer, because I'm fascinated by your mind. I'm fascinated by your research and the way you interpret things and the way you articulate things. Especially the last time we sat down, I had a lot of brain explosions. So that one we can park for later. Just alternative currencies, which has got almost nothing to do with religion. But yeah, outside of those, just these ones. Maybe we can start off, if you're religious, if you're cultural, what that means to you.
Yeah, like I said already. First of all, thanks for the time and the opportunity. Now, the way I think about these discussions, I really don't think about them as we are solving for X and we live here and we've got answers. Sometimes in the discussions, I pick up something that that's interesting. That's a different way of thinking about a particular topic. This topic specifically has to come with a massive disclaimer because of the emotions often involved in it, understandably, and also because I'm not an expert at all. Like, I did not study theology or anything like that, or whatever. So if you wanted to get a theologian view of the things, I mean, you're going to have to get a guest who's got that expertise. But the reason why I still think, despite all of those disclaimers, we still need to have the conversation. It's just the same thing with politics. Now, I came in and say, we don't know what we're doing, but unfortunately, we find ourselves in the middle of it. I feel the same way about matters of faith and religion. Is you can still say, how am I grappling with these challenges today, even though you're not necessarily an expert?
Like politics, we could argue that you may not care about politics, but politics cares about you. You may not care about religion,
absolutely,
but religion cares about
absolutely. But I feel like, and this is why I said I wanted it to be more a discussion. You framed the questions. You have made a lot more progress than I have, because you've got Penuelism, right? So I'm more interested in your thinking on those questions. To be honest, and this is not just me, just trying to, what's the thing, like when you play snooker or pool table, there are people who try and get you to bet more and more money, but they know that at some point, I don't know, forgotten what they call them.
Sure.
Not hustlers, I've forgotten what they call them. So I'm genuinely interested because it seems like you've done quite a bit of work. So maybe let's start there.
Why are you interested?
I'm interested because just like I'm interested in politics, I'm interested in matters of faith and religion.
Okay.
And I have not, Yes, we went and tested, citizens in politics, right?
You're way more qualified than me in that space.
In
so-
that space,
Yeah.
I have not thought about starting a religion, right? So you are more qualified than I am in that space.
Do you think your curiosity might be spurred by maybe you have a smaller desire to be like, hey, maybe I've been sleeping on this and this is what I should be doing?
No, I'm curious about a lot of things. I'm
Yeah.
curious about how bodies work. I'm curious about how the universe works. I'm curious about politics. I'm
Yeah.
curious about culture.
Yeah.
I'm curious about relationships. And so there's a lot of things I'm curious about.
Okay.
As a result, I actually have got good general knowledge on a lot of things,
That's beautiful.
but actually not an expert on pretty much any of them, right? Like the last thing I did that I supposedly I was an expert was IT and systems development. Even that I'm not an expert in because it has since evolved, and even what I knew at the time was such a small part, So I enjoy general knowledge. Then it doesn't mean any of it is something I would like to pursue. I'm interested in nutrition and whatever. Some of it for my own experiments and whatever. So no. I have not thought about like, do I want to be a... By the way, do you know where pastor and priests come from? Like,
No.
So pastor comes from Latin pastor, which is a shepherd. Yeah. And then priest started with Greek and then over time Latin, and it's just an elder, right? So I'm not interested in being a shepherd.
A pastor is a shepherd, a priest is an elder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a wise elder,
Okay.
not just a leader type wise elder that when we are all stuck, we
Go to
kind of
them and
like,
seek.
yes. So Pen, I'm genuinely interested in how you've been thinking about this whole space and Penuelism and then,
You came to interview me?
No, to discuss and learn. Like I said, honestly, I'm not trying to kind of like pull you in before I snatch. No, not at all.
I think...
and let me say this, because I think you refer to religion a lot without actually talking about it as a topic.
Yeah.
But it usually features in discussions you have and debates you have.
100%.
So I keep on having a sense that it feels like it is something you have applied your mind to quite a lot. And I always thought it would be great one day to come back and just like hear how much of thinking you've put into it. Yeah.
I really think the mark of a good leader is someone who has a curious mind and someone who has a broad general knowledge.
Yeah.
I think it's difficult to... by leader, I mean like a leader of society or community.
Yeah.
I think from what I've seen, people who have a specialized knowledge, who are experts in gurus in one thing, they tend to struggle in societal matters or communal matters because if it's not tech focused, they plug out, and which means they lose a lot of the other people who are not into that stuff.
Absolutely.
But if you know a little bit about this and it means you won't be an expert, but you could be, I guess, an expert leader. Maybe.
Yeah.
I find the best leaders are people who genuinely know a bit about everything. So I just want to give you kudos because I think what you have is the mark of a good leader.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Ben.
So it
Thank
may
you,
not
Ben.
necessarily be an expert in this, but
No, thank you.
yeah, because people always, and it's a saying that people have now taken as fact that it's better to be a master of something than to be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Being a jack of all trades is actually, in my opinion, what human beings were meant to be.
Yeah, actually, that quote, if you search for it, it's incomplete. I don't know if you can search for it
I'll search
on the
for it. I'll
phone.
search for it.
Jack of all trade, master of none. That's not the entire. That's actually not the entire quote. I know we are already digressing.
No, Kule.
Straight out of the blocks.
Master
but,
of none. I'll put full context.
Just say full quote or something.
Must I read it?
Yeah, what does
If
it
I
say?
find it.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the full thing though. Let's see here. The saying jack of all trades, master of none is a figure of speech often used to describe someone who has dabbled in many skills but isn't an expert in any one area. While the phrase is often perceived negatively, implying a lack of focus, the complete quote, "Jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one,"
Yeah.
suggests that having a broad range of skills can be advantageous.
Yeah. So actually, people use it for almost the opposite of what.
Jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah. But people use it to suggest that you need to be a master of something. But that's actually not ever what the quote
was saying.
was saying. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's all you wanted to highlight?
No, I wanted to highlight that. Then I also wanted to say, like, the thing about general knowledge. I mean, obviously, like, you are you inquisitive, like your breadth of stuff that you invest time in seeking to understand. Like, I'm always in awe. Like, you are able to carry a conversation with, be it spiritual, religious, cultural, historic. Interestingly, that's when qualifications like MBA were introduced, that was the thinking.
Yeah.
Before the hype and all of that.
Master of Business Administration.
It was actually like because the curriculum of that will include a bit of accounting, a bit of marketing, whatever. It was, you are going to be the administrator of a business.
Yeah.
You need to be able to relate to a finance guy when he or she comes to you, the marketing person. It was obviously not meant to make you an expert in any one of those areas.
Yeah.
But obviously over time, it became more a marketing gimmick and less about the knowledge.
Of course.
Anyway, so yeah, to come back to you, I'm doing the interview today.
Come on. Finally, you confess.
Are you, so maybe...
You didn't answer my question. Are you religious? Are you cultural?
No, but that's what I'm saying. That is going to take us down a path that I'm going to miss out on the opportunity. If you want, we can turn this into politics because I've done a bit more work on it.
Were you baptized as a child?
Come on.
Do you slaughter goats?
Then come on. Listen, I feel like people have not had time to just get the full thinking you have around Penuelism and God Penuel, right? So I genuinely am interested in hearing you out. I'll still share my views that I'm grappling with. I don't have answers as always, but like,
I never know where to tackle this topic from. Let me start it off from here.
Yeah.
Many of us spend our entire lives searching for like the purpose, the meaning of life. Why are we here?
Yeah.
Where do we come from? Where we're going?
Yeah.
And many different people over the ages have come up with what they believe to be answers to that question, because it is the fundamental question for existence.
Yeah.
Outside of everything else. Some of the other things have been answered mostly. But this one, why are we here?
Yeah.
Where do we come from? Where are we going?
Yeah.
And in that pursuit for myself, I needed to find it for me. What is my purpose?
Yeah.
I was very privileged growing up that I was skilled in many things and I was talented in many things. And at some point in my life, I thought I could become anything I want in the world.
Yeah.
Realistically. There was a TV show on Mnet. I think it used to play on Open Time. I think it was called The Pretender. And this guy would morph into any talented person, a Formula One driver, a football player, a politician, in every story. And in the story, the people that are seeing him are seeing who the person is. Like, I'm Cristiano Ronaldo, but Tina, from our side, we see Utu Penuel is just morphing into these characters.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I could do that. I could become an Olympic swimmer. I could play for the Springboks. I could become a president. I could run $1 billion company. I could become a great father, a great husband. I could become a leader of a church, because I was blessed with some skills. I did well at school.
Yeah.
I was born into Ekasi. I grew up in the suburbs, but I could straddle both worlds. Multilingual as most South Africans. I was decent at sports. I was fast.
Yeah.
I could sing. I got into hip hop. I started rapping. I could draw. I could paint. I had a decent relationship with human beings. I was able to connect with people. I had a curious mind, willing to travel, have a relatively, at the time, high risk appetite.
Yeah.
I could fly to the moon. So why am I here? The next guy is born into poverty. They have limited scope of opportunities.
Yeah.
So maybe their purpose is to get their family out of poverty.
Yeah.
if I can just get a degree and
Yeah.
just get the family out,
Yeah.
then I think I've made it. That was too small for me. And when I got to varsity studying accounting and economics, of which I wanted to do advertising at AAA,
Yeah.
and I wanted to do visual arts, and I wanted to study music, because I also played the piano at some point. I was like, chartered accountant can't be my life.
Yeah.
Because I meet these guys and they one-dimensional and they're lame.
Yeah.
This can't be it. Maybe I'll be a chartered accountant who makes artworks and I'd meet professional artists.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a nice life. Then you meet business people. I read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad in 2006, which put me on this path of money.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, maybe let me go into business and build a business, etc. And life would go on and I'd become conscious, black conscious, Steve Biko.
Okay.
Maybe I need to take black people where other black leaders could never take them.
Yeah.
The so-called promised land.
Yeah.
So you go on that path and then you meet black people, you deal with black people, you realize, hey, the problem is complex. These other men were better men than me.
Yeah.
And then you meet white people and you meet Indians and the Chinese and you're like, hey, some of these guys are also struggling.
Yeah.
So it's not just a black issue. It's arguably a class issue, an elitist issue. So why am I here?
Yeah.
And in my research and in the reading of the books and in the watching of the videos, you stumble upon certain things that trigger certain thoughts.
Yeah.
In varsity, I met a colored lady from Namibia.
Yeah.
She was the nicest, most open-minded Christian I'd met in my life at that point.
Yeah.
Because we'd gone to church, we sang in churches. I was a Christian, I'd pray even before rugby games, we'd pray in Afrikaans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here Jesus, baie dankie vir hierdie voorreg om te speel.
Yeah.
Laat ons wat mag die beste span wen, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. I meet this chick, and at the time at varsity, there's His People Church,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they harass us on campus. Do you know Jesus Christ? Hey, baba, hey. Awume kancane.
Yeah.
I meet this lady. She's from His People. She's like, if you ever have any questions, please come ask me. I'm like, sure, whatever. But she's friendly.
Yeah.
She's not harassing. She's not forcing.
Yeah.
She was pretty as well.
Okay, I was about to ask. I
Hey,
suspect there was also that.
A very important piece of information, Chief. Very pretty. So I sit with her and she genuinely is interested in asking like my faith barometer,
Yeah.
which most human beings will never do. They're like, you Christian? They don't ask how far Christian.
Bye. Yeah.
Because she's like, she used to smoke and drink and party and she found Jesus. And she'd like to share that gift with anyone who's willing to learn.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of meetings, me and her telling me about the Bible, speaking. I asked a lot of very difficult questions.
Yeah.
Questions that sit in the minds of many people, but they're
Yeah.
scared to ask.
Yeah.
Why do little children get assaulted in various ways? What happened to our ancestors that didn't know about Jesus Christ? Do they go to hell? But the Bible was brought by colonizers. So, why would we follow the colonizers' religion? What happens when we die?
Yeah.
Where do we come from? Why does God want us to worship this?
Yeah.
What about the Muslims? What about the Jews? What about the who knows?
Yeah.
She was very honest in saying, I don't have all of the answers.
Yeah.
I'm limited. I can tell you all I know and I can tell you my opinion.
Yeah.
And she encouraged me to go and ask other scholars and I'd go and I'd meet with pastors
Yeah.
and I'd ask. And they would hit me with all these answers where you end up just nodding because you're like, yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's saying. But to shut me up and
Yeah.
to make it seem like he knows what he's talking about. No, the thing about political structure and Marxism, you're like, oh, this guy doesn't know.
Yeah.
He just read a quote somewhere or he read Marx.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay. I decided, it was in my third year university, that I'm struggling with the answers. I'm not getting what I want.
Yeah.
Let me go to the source.
Yeah.
And over the summer holiday, I read the Bible,
Yeah.
the whole book. And while I was reading, I was like, I don't think anyone's ever read this book. Because it can't be that what I'm reading here
Yeah.
is what they're teaching in church.
Yeah.
The incest, the backstabbing,
Yeah.
the evil, not only committed by bad people in the Bible, but that you start asking question marks about this so-called God
Yeah.
and his so-called chosen prophets on the ground. Who say, these are some bad people.
Yeah.
These are some demonic. Because questions I'd ask is, why would God arm wrestle with Satan over Job? And Job has to suffer so much.
Yeah.
Like, ndlala ngempilo yami.
Yeah.
Why would he flood the world?
Yeah.
Because people are not like worshiping him. That sounds like a jealous, of which they say is a jealous God. I'm like, but that doesn't sound like a loving father.
Yeah.
Why would he kill innocent firstborn sons of the Egyptians?
Yeah.
So we're being punished because of Moses can't free the Israel. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I read the Bible. I read a book by Richard Dawkins called The God Delusion.
Yeah.
Hey, Richard Dawkins is an aggressive atheist. He's not the only one. There's a couple. After reading that book, I said, look, I cannot with good conscience go around telling people I'm a Christian because I've got too many questions. I'm unsettled. So people are going to say, but look at Uyan, he's a Christian. It's like, hey, Ntwana, if you knew that he's grappling with things.
Yeah.
So I unplugged from Christianity and I became an angry atheist.
Okay.
Black people who follow Christianity are ignorant. They are stupid. They are misguided. It's the religion of the white man. It worships white. Even Jesus has been whitewashed. He's a black man with an afro or with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
At the time, Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code was trending. I watched the movie. I read his books. I'm like, yeah, we're being sold a dream.
Yeah.
I want to fast forward from being an angry atheist. The next assumption, if you're not religious, is, oh, you must be cultural.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, let me lean into being umZulu, umlojwa. So I'd put together a family tree. I'd go and interview some of my cousins and my aunts to find out where we come from. Why do we do this? Why do we burn this? What do Izangoma do? What do herbalists do? Etc. I'm like, okay, so this is why ilobolo, intlawulo.
Yeah.
And at the end of that exercise, I become an angry anti-culturalist.
Yeah.
To say all of these things are no longer following principle. You guys have lost the essence.
Yeah.
Ilobolo had nothing to do with money. Money came with white people.
Yeah.
Intlawulo was for damaging a virgin when you've been taught that this is wrong, and she's also been taught. It's not this bullshit that you guys are doing now.
Yeah.
Ukushisimpepo means this. To slaughter means this. And.
Yeah.
Fast forward, I watch a TED Talk by Yuval Noah Harari.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is Israeli.
Yeah.
And the TED Talk is Why Humans Run the World.
Yeah.
People can go watch it. In there, he says something. He says, human beings are different from animals because we live in two realities.
Yeah.
Number one, we live in the real world, which is what animals also see. When you see a rock, when you see a mountain, when you see a tree, when you see water, animals see exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
But he says the difference is that human beings live in a fictional reality
Yeah.
where animals don't. Human beings have been able to convince each other of gods,
Yeah.
of the law, of human rights, of borders. A bird doesn't know it's now in Zimbabwe
Yeah. Yeah.
and it must now produce a visa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are all human creations, including money.
Yeah.
And he makes the example of chimpanzees, that you can't tell a chimpanzee, listen, give me some bananas, I'll give you money.
Yeah.
The chimpanzee will be like, you're fucked in your head.
Yeah.
You're going to give me pieces of paper and take my fucking banana.
It's never
Die you.
happened. Yeah.
Which we would be at some point.
Yeah.
You want access to land, you want cows,
Yeah.
and you're telling me here's some gold coins. You
Yeah.
look at this thing, you're like, I can't eat this, I can't wear this.
There's no way.
Hey, fuck your gold coins, Baba.
Mm.
But you get co-opted into the psychology.
Yeah.
And in that whole story, because he's written 2 books, I think Origins and Sapiens, if I'm not mistaken.
Sapiens and Homo Deus.
Homo Deus, yeah.
Yeah, which is essentially human beings playing God.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've read them?
Yeah.
Dope. I should.
No, I have.
I'm sleeping. Oh, so maybe you're more
No.
educated.
Like I said, I have quite a general
I know a little bit.
generally inquisitive, and curious.
He mentions religion as well.
Yeah.
And around those times, I'm just struggling with the timelines, but I'll just simplify it by saying I wanted to figure out what makes human beings tick. Because the source of our problems and the solution to our problems has to do with shifting mindsets.
Yeah.
So how do you shift mindsets? And I realized that there have been tools that have been used to colonize minds and shift humans to behave.
Yeah.
There are natural ones. Violence is natural. Animals use it.
Yeah.
There's primal ones like sex and nature, and she's pretty, he's strong. So just biology and nature and survival.
Yeah.
And Charles Darwin adapting and what is it?
Natural selection.
Natural selection. Is there another term I'm looking for?
Well, he wrote on the
Charles
origin
Darwin.
of species, evolution,
Evolution, natural selection.
natural
Whatever
selection,
Darwin stood for. But yeah.
survival of the fittest.
Sure.
I don't know. There's all of those.
I don't know my purpose. Still, I don't really know where I'm going, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
At this time, I've run some businesses. I've failed. I've worked in corporate. It was sort of okay.
Yeah.
I've acted on some things on TV. I've got children. It was just floating around.
Yeah.
So I realized, number one, there is no purpose.
Yeah.
We're born, we die, and we're meant to keep ourselves busy until we die.
Yeah.
Number two, you choose a story. This is also Yuval Noah Harari.
Yeah.
You choose a story of where we come from and where we're going.
Yeah.
And if you don't like the Bible story or the religion story, you go for Big Bang.
Yeah.
If you don't go for Big Bang, you go for, I don't know, we're aliens from the sky. Whatever it is that we come from the earth,
Yeah.
the evolution theory, etc. So you believe in a story. I decided at that point that, look, what I think of all the things that are out there to pursue for the rest of my life that will stimulate me,
Yeah.
what if I challenge minds which are the first and the last frontier on earth?
Yeah.
So people fight wars over land.
Yeah.
People fight wars over minerals and commodities. People decide that they want these animals over those animals. People fight over women,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But all of this stems from the ability to manipulate minds to see what is not real
Yeah.
and to get them to enact whatever worldview you have.
Yes.
And worldviews dictate colonization, oppression, what we call xenophobia.
Sorry, I just want to take notes on some of the things I want to.
No problem. Would you like my book?
No, to just probe some questions.
Do you prefer typing or writing?
No, I'll just type.
You don't want to write?
No, I'm cool. Thanks.
You prefer typing?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
Peter Thiel in 0 to 1. So Peter Thiel owns an investment fund, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yes.
he's part of the PayPal mafia with Elon Musk, Reid Hoffman of LinkedIn, and the others. And he'd have $1 billion fund after they would sell up or PayPal, and he became one of the Silicon Valley gurus.
Yes. Yeah.
He became the first big investor in Facebook. I think he put in, was it $50 million? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or 500 million, I'm not sure. Either way, in 0 to 1, and also it gives a nice speech, which is also available on YouTube, where he says people go into business, or smart people go into business with the intention of monopoly.
Yes.
Anyone who's going in to compete is either lying or they don't know the game we're playing.
Yeah.
Every decent business goes into business to monopolize.
Yeah.
We can speak Tesla. Elon Musk is not trying to compete with motor vehicles. He's trying to own all the vehicles
The
on
whole
Earth.
thing. Yeah.
And maybe his entry was electric vehicles because it had lower barriers to entry. It was a nice gimmick, etc. He makes examples of Bill Gates. I think he makes examples of Mark Zuckerberg, because Mark Zuckerberg would listen to Bill Gates, I think at Stanford, giving a speech.
Yeah.
And the argument is two arguments. Number one, a lot of the discoveries on Earth have been made. If you're trying to reinvent the wheel, it's already been invented. If you're trying to slice bread, it's already been sliced. So where the greatest wealth lies is in the spaces that people are not looking into.
Yeah.
And the question he asks is, what do you know to be true that everyone disagrees with you on? Because that's an opportunity. Number two, if you want to be extremely wealthy, you don't do what the last wealthy guy did.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg wants to be the next Bill Gates, but it's not going to be in software.
Yeah.
It may be in social networks. Mr. Beast wants to be the next Mark Zuckerberg, but he mustn't create a social platform. He becomes a YouTuber. So anyone who wants to become the Oppenheimers in South Africa,
Yeah.
don't go into diamonds.
Yeah.
That's done. You need to find a space, let's say AI,
Yeah.
that no South African has conquered at a level where you become like the only guy who has access to this thing.
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it Uzoza Shongwe? Maybe. He spoke about South Africa and Zimbabwe arguably having 90% of the world's platinum reserves.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's ripe for a monopoly.
Yeah.
If South Africa and Zimbabwe just said, any platinum you want, like
We
OPEC
control
and
it.
the oil, we control it.
Yeah.
So we'll charge whatever fucking price we want.
Yeah.
And we'll become the UAE overnight.
Yeah.
But obviously, our platinum is not owned by the people. And so you look for that. With all of this in mind, do I try to liberate physically or mentally black people?
Yeah.
Do I try to build a mega church? Joel Austin, TD Jakes,
Yeah.
whoever. Do I become a dollar millionaire, billionaire, Patrice Motsepe, Jack Ma? Do I gun to be a president?
Yeah.
Do I want to get into politics? And, Penuel, you could be president one day. Do I don't know, whatever you can, become a super celebrity.
Yeah.
Become the Kardashians of South Africa. What do I want to be a king? Do I want to challenge Umisu Zulu for the throne and say, no, I want to take over the Zulus
Yeah.
and run? What do I want that'll give me joy?
Yeah.
Because there's no fucking reason to be here.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan says we are just chimpanzees running around on a spaceship that's spinning called Earth.
Yeah.
There's no real purpose to be here. And in looking at all of this stuff, I'm like, what are people not challenging as a business, as an industry?
Yeah.
Many people have come up with religions. You've got Scientology, Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
You've got others as well, maybe not as popular. Scientology is a good example because it's popularish. You've got the Baha'i and
Yeah.
everyone is trying to come up with a new way to interpret God. It's not a congested industry, by the way, to come up with new religions. It's not.
Yes.
But no one has ever thought of challenging the concept of God.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone I know. I don't know anyone who's said, I'm God. They're like, oh, you like Jesus? No, no. Not a prophet. No. Not a Messiah.
I'm skipping that step.
No, I'm the source.
I'm this, yeah.
Like, you're fucked. You can't be so you created the world.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And it was a social experiment. It's 5 years old now.
Yeah.
It was a social experiment. It still is.
Yeah.
Of which I think, arguably, all of the religions are actually social experiments.
No, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a social experiment. It's bold.
Yeah.
It challenges a person's core thinking.
Yeah.
Because when you're born, you're assigned a religion, a race, a nationality, all these things, and you don't question it.
Yes.
I'm Ifit, what can I do? It's a fact. Like, no, it's not a fact.
It is, yeah.
You could have been Johannes. It's just your dad couldn't read this thing properly or the paper was crumpled up.
Yeah.
You happen to be born here because your dad crossed the border at the wrong time. The fuck out of here. So we don't challenge these things, which could be challenged. Things like surnames, which we didn't have.
Yeah.
Because when you go on this path, you realize that most things we hold so dear.
Yeah.
I'm an American. No, we as the black people, all of these are human constructs.
Yeah.
And they've imprisoned our minds and they dictate who I'm killing, who I'm sleeping with, what type of work I'm willing to do, who I'm willing to enslave, or which slave master I'm willing to work under. It's insane.
Yeah.
But all of this ties back into, at the end of the day, which God do you serve?
Yes.
Because after everything has gone, money, by the way, is a huge tool of power.
Yeah.
But there are people that you can't buy them.
Yeah.
And when you'd like, Donna, I'll give you all, it's like, no, my God will never allow that. You're like, yo. So when your last number of defense, you sending American soldiers to the Middle East to kill, paying them is not enough. Maybe you can tell them our country's under attack, our women and our children.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have to go back to, God would send Joshua to fight the Battle of Jericho. God will send soldiers. God sent Moses. It wasn't pretty.
Yeah.
But sometimes God calls upon you to do the right thing for him.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when these soldiers are being brainwashed, the number one propaganda is, even if I die.
Yeah.
This would apply to about ISIS, about Al-Qaeda. What's that line that kamikaze guys use? Something, Allahu Akbar. Whatever that thing they shout. But it has to do with praising. I don't mind dying. I don't mind killing.
Yeah. Before.
As long as I'm serving Allah.
Yeah.
You know, when you go down the rabbit hole, you're like, even at surface level, this shit is so wild. Muslims, Christians, and Jews will debate amongst each other.
Yeah.
To realize that they all come from the same father, Abraham. And they just interpret through different prophets. A big chunk of the world, if not the vast majority, don't know that Allah is Arabic for God. It's not a type of God. It's not the fictional gods that were created by the Greeks and the Romans to try and explain
Yeah.
the things that they can't explain.
Yeah.
War, fertility, rain. Obviously, we have Omujaji, Onomkuluan, and the likes here. That I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
It's X. So because we haven't solved for it, let's assign a god.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then as the so-called scientists and the more curious minds go out and they're like, no, if we do this, watch, it's going to rain again.
Yes.
Huh? So we now know that it's water vapor. It forms in the clouds. And we can tell you accurately that it's going to rain next week. That's
Yeah.
God work, by the way. That's
That's,
Isangoma. It's
yeah.
going to rain next week. How do you know?
Yeah.
You're like, no, it's because this person understood science. So it's not a god of thunder.
No, that's exactly what Noah Harari goes into when he talks about human beings playing God. Is because we now have got answers to some of these things, including things like choosing the gender of your child.
Yes.
We are essentially starting to play God.
Play God.
Yeah, yeah.
Dan Brown would be interviewed in his books.
Yeah.
John Langdon, I think, is the main character, protagonist. And specifically the Da Vinci Code, because it became so controversial and it's still a banned book in some countries.
Yeah.
He speaks somewhere in there about how human beings used to assign gods to things that they cannot explain.
Yes.
And as they explain everything else, a god disappears. But it's like there are still fundamental questions that human beings cannot answer. And for that reason, that's why there still is a god.
Yeah.
What happens after we die? Where are we coming from?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so that gives religious people some warm, fuzzy feeling that, you know, God is watching, God knows best. As long as we pray, and you're like, faith. If that's how you, not condition, it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
This is how you cope from going crazy.
Yeah.
By all means, I understand. So I said I will be God. And
Okay.
in that social experiment, before you carry on.
No, I'm not cutting on. I'm going to allow you. I just want
I'm almost done.
No, don't rush. I want to go back. I want to open up the questions you were asking so that I want to be sure you have answered them. The ones you were reading earlier. Like
For myself.
Yeah, that is the whole idea behind.
answered
What do you think we are doing?
Are you religious? Are you cultural? Do you think Christianity is net positive,
you
net negative?
mentioned words like atheist and all of that. So I want, as you start to wrap it up, start to pull in the answers to those questions, because you asked the questions, right?
But I want you to answer them.
Ben, I've not done work. So atheist means what? Don't believe in God.
Yes.
Right? So you are not, because you believe in God.
I am.
Yes. So you are what?
Atheist.
Or you don't believe in God?
No.
Not even Penuel, the God?
I definitely believe in myself.
Yeah, but that's you are not atheist in that sense.
I can explain.
Okay, tell me.
So let me finish that last point I wanted to make. So in this, I decided in my social experiment to then write a book, because I realized how they colonize minds is by writing so-called holy scriptures.
Yes.
Because at the end of it all, who is Allah? Who is God? Who is Yahweh? Someone refers to a book.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if I want to play this God thing, I need to write my book. When they say it's Penuel's word, I'm like, oh, here's mine.
Okay, yeah.
Penuelism principles.
People can pass it on.
Yuval speaks about story.
Yeah.
And when you go to the essence of what story is, it is stringing together language.
Yeah.
And I realized that the essence of human existence lies in language.
Yes.
So money is God. God is God, whatever you believe. Doing good work is God. But it's essentially language. The language we use is what manufactures these imaginary constructs.
Yeah.
And if you can master language and portray it in a certain way, you can actually colonize minds. It's like a frequency or a vibration where when someone sings, you find yourself getting goosebumps and crying.
Yeah.
If someone says, hey, you're fucking kafir, it literally affects your lived reality.
Yeah.
If someone says, Jan, hey, you're the most beautiful man I've ever seen, the smartest, all of a sudden, hey, your body reacts.
Yeah.
If someone tells you, no, your family were the kings of Kemet back in the day.
Yes.
You guys ruled. I see you. And, I've met some of the Ethiopians, and you literally embody, if you go to the temples and you look at they were painting you.
Yeah.
And then you start feeling like, hey, We used to be kings, and
Yeah.
that is language and story.
Yeah.
With that being said, now trying to answer you, there are people that create language.
Yeah.
Before we speak about who wrote the Bible, there are people that created the language, the words to write scriptures.
Yeah.
And those people that create that then create definitions.
Yeah.
And when they say Penuel is a narcissist, suffers from delusions of grandeur, he's schizophrenic, I then have to go look at the definition of a word that I didn't invent.
Yeah.
And I look at him like, oh, you're right. So when you say, are you an atheist? Yes.
Yes.
Because what they defined as an atheist had nothing to do with me at the time. So if atheism is any God, any concept of a God,
Yeah.
then sure, I'm not an atheist.
Yes.
But until that definition includes me,
Is that
I'm
not
an
the
atheist.
definition? Atheist is not believing in any God.
yes.
Yeah, so that's so.
But then what is the definition of God?
No, you will come back to that. You said God Penuel,
Yes.
which I'm assuming therefore that there is a God. You said no one has contested God, the concept,
Yes.
right? You now have got a competing idea. So there is a God, right? God Penuel that
Yes.
you believe in.
Yes.
So I'm saying, therefore, by definition, that means you are not atheist. You might be that you don't believe in a particular God, but you believe in a God. Because atheism refers to not believing in any God.
So that's your interpretation.
No, I'm
To
saying,
the rest of the world,
yeah.
you can't interpret it like that.
Okay, what's the rest of the world? No, I'm genuinely
problem.
curious. Yeah.
So that's where the definition of God comes in.
Okay.
Let's look it up.
No, atheism.
Okay, let me start with atheism
Yeah.
for your ease. Atheism definition. Atheism is the lack of belief in the existence of gods.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a belief that there are no gods, but rather a rejection of the assertion that any gods exist.
Yeah.
Atheism is distinct from theism, which is the belief that at least one God exists.
Yeah.
So is there a God or not?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm saying you pass that test because you believe in a God.
But we need to see the definition of what a God is, right?
Okay.
Definition of a God. Noun. This is according to Google Oxford Dictionary. Number one, there's two. Number one, in Christianity and other monotheistic religions,
Yeah.
the creator and ruler of the universe and the source of all moral authority,
Yeah.
the supreme being. Number two, in certain other religions, a superhuman being or spirit worshipped as having power over nature or human fortunes, a deity.
Okay.
So now for the whole world,
Yeah.
I don't meet this definition.
No, but you want to so you are saying there is a definition that refers to a particular God and you want to present an alternative to that God.
Yes.
Right? So therefore,
I'm challenging this. So
to be another God.
So I'm trying to think of an analogy. You've got South Africa
Yeah.
as a fictional creation,
Yes.
and I'm challenging to build a nation. And people are like, okay, so like South Africa, and I'm like, no. I'm building
There's a
something else.
different- Yeah.
Because the definition now has to do with geographical,
Yes.
and I'm speaking about something else. So
Yes.
you who understands that will say, oh, okay, it's like South Africa. And I'll say, you understand it, so you're right.
Yes.
But for the rest of the world, they're like, no, Baba.
Yeah.
That nation cannot exist because, the South African borders are, I'm
Yeah.
like, as long as we play in those parameters,
Yeah.
you're not hearing what I'm challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I hear you. Because in the nation analogy, so I'm not hung up on South Africa, but in there we are assuming like we understand the nation. So
What is a nation?
So I'm saying, yeah, we are asking the question, what is
Yes.
the nation?
Yes.
So I'm saying, okay, suppose we saying there's a question, what is God?
Yes.
But even after we've gone through that exercise and either agreed or disagreed on the definition of that, but at the end you're saying there's a God concept you are pursuing,
Yes.
right? That you want people to believe in.
Yes.
But so therefore, this is why I was saying then by that process,
Yes.
you are not atheist.
Sure.
That's really why I was.
The answer to you is yes.
Okay.
But the answer to the rest of the world is I am.
Okay. Then the other questions, because you had other questions here. Do you think Christianity, you said, are you cultural? You spoke about cultural, being Zulu, and then end up being very angry.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your understanding of culture and cultural and
No.
African
I'm asking
customs?
you. Are you
No,
cultural?
I understand you're asking me, but I just like to ask you.
Culture is often just like a summation of repeated practices, in my view. Like that's really what it is. This is why I was saying in one of our last conversations, I'm not hung up on it because I buy that culture will continue to change. But for us to continue to have comfort in what we understand about our lives and all of that, we must reference something which has been really a recollection of our recent repeated practices. That's really, I don't put too much more than that on culture.
Let me read the definitions according to Google. This also becomes God, by the way, because
Yeah.
if Google says,
Yeah.
that's dispute. Number one, the arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. That's culture. Number two, the one you're speaking to, the ideas, customs, and social behavior of a particular people or society.
Yeah.
Would you argue that Christianity is a culture?
We are not arguing, like we said. We are discussing, and we'll come back to that. But
No, not to argue. I'm just asking, would you agree?
it's
if
a
I
culture.
said-
I see it as a culture because it's a sort of a practice.
Yeah, it's
not-
it's ideas, it's customs, it's
yeah,
social
that's
behavior.
right. That's right.
Do you think it's possible to be Christian and, let's say, vendor?
Yes.
Why?
I'll answer the whys. I'll come to that. Do you want me to note down the questions? I think it is possible, but maybe to help so that we don't get stuck on it.
Sure.
It's so you when you were reading God, so there's monotheist beliefs,
Yes.
right? They believes in one God.
Yes.
But then they are, I don't know if they are called polytheists
It's probably
or they're
poly,
called probably poly, right? Believe in many gods, right?
Polytheism, the belief in or worship of more than one God.
More than one god, yes. So there is a concept where a person believes in
like the Hindus,
Yeah.
the Greeks.
Yeah.
But Christianity doesn't allow that.
No, because it's a monotheist belief.
Yes, that's why I'm asking, can you be Christian and vendor?
No, I'm saying, so if you are saying I'm purely Christian, right? Because it depends on whether you are starting as vendor going into Christian or as Christian going into vendor.
Yeah.
You might say I'm a vendor person who believes in Christianity. I don't think being vendor stops you from believing in Christianity. It probably is Christianity that does not believe in. By the way, Christianity has got nothing to do with being vendor because it's a theist, it's a God-based, it's spiritual, it's God-based. It places a mono-God in the middle, right? Being vendor does not do that as far as I know.
Are you serious?
No, I don't
You don't think the vendor people and the Zulu people had a god or gods before Christianity?
No, I'm saying being vendor in itself does not say it's an identity. It says these are my people and all of that.
You don't believe it as a belief system?
No, I'm not saying they might not have believed in gods or not believe in gods, but that belief does not change you from being vendor or Pedi. Or you will actually find that when it comes to beliefs, being Pedi and being vendor and being whatever actually ends up with a number of similarities. I don't see it as competition with Christianity.
You really don't. This is a real thing because I'm happy to have that chat.
That's what I'm saying. Even if it was, I think it is catered for in polytheism. From a vendor perspective,
but Christians are not polytheists.
No, but that's what I'm saying is it starts with what you consider to be your primary identity, right?
So this is what I'm trying to say. So you start off speaking Xhosa.
Yeah.
And then you go to an English school. And at the English school, they don't allow Xhosa or any other language.
Yeah.
And I'm asking you, can you speak Xhosa in English? And you're saying yes.
Yes.
And I'm saying at the English school, they don't allow you to speak Xhosa. So why would you still say you are Xhosa when the English school... That means you either believe in one or the other.
No, but that's called a false dichotomy. The idea that if you are not one thing, you must be the other is actually part of the problem. I can be both, right? So I can respect that while I'm at school, I speak English,
Yes.
but when I'm in Venda, I speak Tivenda.
So Christians who happen to be Venda
Yeah.
are lying in their Christianity.
I don't think they are lying in their Christianity. I'm saying if you primarily say I start as a vendor,
Yes.
I can't stop being vendor.
I hear you.
Right? Now I found this belief that I can relate to.
Yes.
Spiritual, belief.
Yes.
But I can't stop being vendor because that's just what I inherited. It's genetic. I inherited with time, right?
Okay.
So now all I can look for is areas where these things are in conflict. Because then I might also find that there are certain things that, whether I'm Venda or Christian, they are complementary. The love for others, empathy, compassion, treating others fairly, justice, and all of that. So then I can go through these things and say, oh, okay, actually these things, when I'm practicing these things and self-sacrifice for things I believe in and all of that, I don't see a contradiction. Then I can look for things where there are strong contradictions between the two. That's why you will start to hear people saying, okay, there's certain things I can no longer practice because I'm now Christian. I don't see that as a contradiction.
But now you can't speak Xhosa because you speak English.
Well, like, for example, now I cannot speak Sepedi because it will not help facilitate the communication we are trying to have. But that does not mean I've abandoned being Pedi. I'm just saying within this...
You're definitely an atheist. I think I've gotten my answer.
No, I will still answer. You don't have to surmise
No
the
problem.
answer. I will...
So
we will get to it and I can answer. I'm here.
before Christianity arrived, I know
Yeah.
we're doing a slight deviation.
Yeah.
Before Christianity arrived, African people, specifically in the South,
Yeah.
had their way of communicating with their god or with their gods
Yes.
in various ways,
Yes.
including slaughtering animals, burning incense,
Yes.
maybe singing and dancing,
Yes.
fasting,
Yes.
whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
They had various ways.
Yeah.
The Christian God in the Bible prescribes that Jesus Christ was crucified and became the ultimate sacrifice
Yes.
for the whole world,
Yes.
everyone.
Yes.
And from that point on, you should not engage in
Yes.
pagan whatever, because those were some of the reasons why God would flood the world,
Yes.
because he was like, these things you guys are doing are not what aligns with me.
Yes.
So for anyone who then goes to church, baptizes, maybe
Yeah.
becomes born again,
Yeah.
says, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and
Yeah.
I praise the Christian God,
Yeah.
and then goes home and slaughters a goat
Yeah.
and burns incense,
Yeah.
you are defiling the essence
Yeah. That's
of Christianity.
let's call it a sin, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for me, once you do that,
You're no longer Christian.
you're basically stealing from like your family, where your family is trying to like build a home.
But Christianity allows there's space for sinning, right? Which can be forgiven.
Yes,
right?
and it shouldn't
But
be
it doesn't
shouldn't be
stop you.
intentional, right? Because
shouldn't
God
be-
knows your heart.
Yeah. We should
So-
not be intentional.
So when you claim that you are, again, accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior,
yeah.
you are meant to relinquish.
Yes.
And anyone who's going to come and interpret that outside of what's in
Yeah.
Scripture
Yeah.
is being mischievous,
Okay.
which is why we judge certain pastors and priests who
Yeah.
demand people pay monies. You're like, nah,
Yeah.
this is not, forget whatever. You have to let go of this thing. You have to let go of Xhosa or
that.
Venda.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact
No,
that
I
you're
hear
holding
you. That's
on,
fair. Yeah.
by definitions, means you're breaking code.
Yeah. That's fair.
If you're a polytheist, that's fine. But Christianity doesn't allow that.
Yeah.
So by definition, you can't come into the school
Yeah.
if you're still going to go home and speak
Yeah.
Spedi,
Yeah.
is one of the requirements.
Okay.
And
That's fair.
so it was just in this concept of culture. But the other thing you raised was there were gods. There was a God.
Yeah.
And the essence of being Umzulu or Venda or Shitsonga,
Yeah.
outside of the lived things we're eating the body of Christ, we're drinking the blood of Christ, we're getting on our knees and praying.
Yeah.
It goes all the way back. Even if you're Muslim in your dress code, even if you're Jewish in your dress code and reading the Torah and eating kosher food,
Yeah.
it goes back to God. And similarly with the African people, everything in the way they lived, the way they practiced medicine and music
Yeah.
and their diets and their clothing, and you shouldn't sleep with a virgin and what.
Yes.
That also went all the way back to their gods.
Oh, no, it did.
And how they'd worship their gods would be
Yes.
the burning, speaking via the
Yes.
ancestors too. So once you
Yes.
bring in a new god, there is a god of Vavenda people.
No, I think you are right, but that's maybe I was arguing a nuance, right?
You are
There-
arguing philosophically, and I agree with you.
No, I was saying to you that in defining Christianity, God starts at the center of it with Jesus Christ as essentially the intermediator. In being Venda, even though they might have believed in gods, the God is not the starting point.
What's the starting point?
It's cultural lineage.
This is your opinion.
No, I'm saying yes. Well, obviously, this is all opinions, right?
Because I think cultures start from God and then manifest in Lento Ishoyo.
Maybe that's why I'm saying. Just sort of the way I was thinking about it is there's the lineage, there's where we come from, and whatever. And
So I don't think people started doing things and then manufactured a god. I
Yeah.
believe in this is culturally African.
yes,
I believe there was a god who then instructed them to then create the surface level things.
okay, like being vendor or Pedi.
Yeah.
Okay.
So even
So
in
you
the
think about
conquest
the
and the
Pedi-
migration,
You think about Pedi and vendor as a worshipping of a particular god.
that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Through the manifestation of a name or a
Okay.
leader or a king. That's why
Okay.
people believe kings are ordained by God
Okay.
to say, no, God
Okay.
brought us to this land. Almost
Caesar, are
like
you
Moses.
awake? Okay.
God ordered Moses. God gave us this king. He is
Yeah.
ordained, and therefore we are here
Yeah.
serving him through the king. So that when
Yeah.
we bow to the king, of course, we're bowing to God. You're just
Yes.
a vessel.
Okay. And so you still see what? Because your last question here was, what did you say, Ben? You
No,
said
the reason I was asking the cultural and the
should we be looking into alternative currencies as a way to
you're trying to keep to 1 hour. That's not going to happen, Baba. Jeez, it's actually been an hour.
It has been an hour. Should we be looking into I think you started to talk about one of the alternatives, which is Penuelism, right?
As a currency.
Huh?
The last question.
Yeah,
No, the
yeah.
last question has to do with currency. It's trading and economy.
Oh, you mean the
That's not
actual
religion.
currency?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I see.
So that one I said we can park for.
Okay, what
right at
role
the
does
end.
religion play in communities and assisting or destroying human experience?
With the conversation we just have,
Yeah.
you believe religion and culture are two separate things.
No. Maybe I'll explain myself in detail and maybe hopefully it answers some of those questions.
Okay.
So how is Penuelism going?
Oh, you're not answering.
No, I'll answer. I'll
Oh.
give a much more detailed
No
answer
problem.
or overview for discussion.
No problem. So, with the social experiments, I wrote the book, Penuelism Principles. I've probably sold, I don't track, but let's say maybe over 2,000 copies.
Yeah.
I've probably given away over 1,000 copies.
Yeah.
And I've had people very receptive.
Okay.
A lot of people come back, they're like, but we've heard a lot of the stuff elsewhere.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah. I mean,
That's
universal,
not a coincidence. yeah?
universal nature principles,
Yeah.
you can't manufacture.
Yeah.
So the fact that you read it in the Bible
Yeah.
doesn't mean it started there, even though you believe so. It
Yeah.
could have been in the Vedas from Hinduism. It could have been in the Torah.
Yeah.
Because these guys didn't invent the rain
Yeah.
and suffering and bleeding. So
Yeah.
if I speak about it, to you, it was only when the
Yes, yes.
Muslim or Islamic God came and you're like, no,
Yes.
we can document in the history we've been taught that way before that there were other beliefs. So your one, we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
say it started here, 4,000
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
years, 2,000.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if you
yeah.
read it there, please know that they also didn't manufacture this. They
That's
also
right. They-
borrowed it somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I've gotten back. Some of the best feedback and criticisms I've gotten were people asking fundamental questions,
Yeah.
which go back to now the purpose.
Yeah.
I read all your principles. This is so nice.
Yeah.
You know, money is whatever, foreigner
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah.
You know, let's focus on community. These
Oh,
are
what
beautiful
is it?
things, Pen.
Foreigner.
Foreigner mindset.
Oh, foreigner mindset.
Foreigner mindset.
Yes.
These are beautiful principles. There's 30 of them.
Mm.
Seasons of life, chapters of life, the concept of winning, etc. This is nice, Pen. We like this.
Yes.
But these other religious scriptures tell us where we come from.
Yes.
They tell us why we're here,
Yeah.
and they tell us where we're
Where
going.
we're going. Yeah.
When I guess God,
Yeah.
where do we come from, Chief? Because you're saying these guys.
Give us, we need
Why are we here
answers.
and where are we going?
Mm.
This will now explain the why I am God,
Yeah.
which, you know, there's ye are gods in the Christian Bible. There's people that believe in African spirituality that believes we were the original gods, whatever the case may be. And if you watch the movie The Eternals
Yeah.
from Marvel Studios, they play around with some Hindu concepts, but some of the concepts are the essence of life and that we are
Yeah.
the essence. Because if you want to think of it from a logical, rational perspective, you exist,
Yeah.
but you come from your parents. But your parents come from their parents.
Yeah.
And if we go all the way back, who was the first person? How did they get to where your parents are? Because whether you're
Yeah.
speaking ancestors or Jesus or Moses, who made them? And when we
Yes.
go back, there must have been a spark somewhere. That's where you get Big Bang, evolution, or God just created Adam
Yeah.
type of situation.
Yeah.
This is my answer. And my answer is not a fact.
Yeah.
It is my answer.
Yeah.
And if you want to believe or pretend or let's have a joke, okay, Penuel is God.
Yes.
I am the creator of my entire existence and being.
Yeah.
Everything that exists in the world, you sitting with me here, whatever so-called audience watching us,
Yeah.
is a manifestation of my consciousness.
Yeah.
The concept of history I created.
Yeah.
The concept of other monotheistic or polytheistic gods and money and wars.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, then make it move. Stop it. I'm like, oh no, that's your concept of God that you were that you were
It's
taught.
Not. Yeah.
I'll never win if your departure point is Christianity.
Yes.
And in
Yes.
7 days, he created Adam and Eve.
Yes.
And then he created, that's never going to, I'm telling you now,
Yeah.
everything that exists is because of my consciousness.
Yeah.
And when my consciousness ceases to exist,
Yeah.
all of this dissipates into nothingness.
Yeah.
If it even is nothingness.
Yes.
And some of the secrets in the world today, which for maybe logical reasons, I don't know,
Yeah.
we're scared to interrogate.
Yeah.
We play around with the concept of outer space. Elon Musk wants to go to Mars. We don't know what that is. And we've got theories and stories about
Yeah.
one universe and one galaxy. And Abu Neil deGrasse Tyson have their own spins. And we don't do a deep dive, excuse the pun, on the ocean.
Yeah.
They tell us go to the core is
Yes,
molten lava
yes.
and magma. And you're like, yeah, but what's there? Yeah, we're going there, but what's there?
Yeah.
Why does a sperm or a seed in the garden, why does it in a certain environment manifest into,
Yeah.
is this a parasite? Is it a good thing?
Yeah.
How does it spontaneously give life that actually has a real impact into the world? Why do we all have to sleep?
Yeah.
What happens when we go to sleep? Why do we see things and creatures that we don't know what they are? Yes, I can maybe have a dream. I was sitting with Jan, you're like, oh, okay, I was dreaming about something I experienced. But what about the things I cannot explain? Why can we not function into perpetuity without ever closing our eyes? Why do we need to shut down? And where do we go?
Yeah.
Because like, I was sleeping. Everyone knows. I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you know that you were where you were?
Yeah.
And it isn't your first spark of consciousness
Yeah.
telling you that you were awake yesterday and the day before, and you have,
Yes.
but it's actually your first time you're waking up,
Yes.
and you're like, it's not the first time, Donna. Come on, I've been living. That's what, but you don't know
Yeah,
when
you don't know.
when you shut down.
Yes.
You don't have a fucking clue where you are, what you're doing. You just wake up with your body's sore.
Yeah.
You wake up now. You've got white hairs. You didn't see them manifest with your
Yeah.
eyes open. No one saw them.
Yeah.
You didn't see yourself growing taller. You just somehow went into this incubation called a sleep. You had weird dreams, and now,
Yeah.
which is where your simulation theory and those things come about, to say we're actually living in a simulation. And like the Matrix, you're just being plugged into a program.
Yeah.
It's downloading whatever information, and then we manifest that, okay, move this body now and give him
Yeah.
the next body and then plug him in and press play again.
Yeah.
Now you're like, hey, I'm taller than I was yesterday. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
if that's what you want. So everything that exists for me is my consciousness,
Okay.
which makes me God.
Yeah.
So I am the creator.
Yeah.
I define everything, including the things I cannot control,
Yes.
are my manifestation.
Yes.
Why am I here? To figure all of this out. And there's
Yeah.
an amazing story. It's just it will take a while to read it. It's called The Egg by Andy Weir.
Yeah.
Andy Weir speaks about a guy who wakes up and sees a being, whatever
Yeah.
that is in your imagination.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, where am I? Oh,
Yeah.
no, you're here with me. I remember I was in a car accident and it's like, oh, yes, you died.
Yeah.
Fuck, what about my family? Oh, thank you so much for caring about those people. But that's not the point of why you're here.
Yeah.
Why am I here? Let's take a walk. Who are you? Let's take a walk. In the taking of the walk and in that story, what eventually comes out at the end is you died because that was the chapter that needed to end for your
Yes.
development and for your growing.
Yes.
I'm going to send you back.
Yeah.
Oh, reincarnation, the Buddhists. Okay. They interpreted that if that's what they want, because someone realized I think getting half of it.
Yeah.
Sure. If that's what you want, cool. Reincarnation. Oh, so am I gonna see my family? Oh no, I'm sending you back
Yeah.
to apartheid. I'm saying you're like, so I can go back in time. You're like, time is just a concept that you were taught there, but
Yeah.
we can bend these things. So I'm gonna send you where I feel you will best learn other lessons.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, I'm going back as what? You're gonna go back as a slave girl in China. So I can change gender and I can change. Yes.
Yeah.
What happens if in my growing I bump into myself and this being says, no, but you have many times.
Yeah.
I've bumped into like and you're like,
Yes.
oh, I don't think you understand. You're the only person there.
Yeah.
Every person you bump into is just you at a
It's
different
just
time
you.
in
Yeah,
this
yeah.
continuum.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why am I doing this? I'm doing this so that you can learn
Yes.
the responsibility you have. And you're like,
Yes.
so I was Hitler. Yes. I was also the people that were gassed by. Yes.
Yeah.
So I've oppressed myself. I've slept with myself. Yes. I'm everyone.
Yeah.
You are everyone.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? I need you to go through the whole experience and to grow so that you can hatch from what you're in now, which is an
Yeah.
egg. Once you've hatched, you will now be born and you'll be ready to join the rest of us
Yeah.
where we come from.
Yeah.
Again, story, language. Sounds
No,
nice.
it's a powerful story. It actually also ties in with a quote I came across recently. I don't remember who said this, but it was something along the lines of when you look at the other person, just remember that they are you, just with a different personal experience head on.
Different software. Same cell
Different-
phone.
you.
They just
right?
downloaded Chinese.
It makes it very hard for you to judge anyone because you need to look at anyone and everyone and realize that they are you.
That's
Yeah.
empathy. Why is he stealing my
It's
car?
you.
He's stealing
It's
your
you
car
with a
because it's you
different-
without the money.
Yeah.
It's you without the
It's you,
education.
right? And this is why I always tease you about this whole thing of giving up on black people or giving. Whenever we look at any behavior, like if we constantly remember that that person is me. So the question should be, what headset are they wearing
Yes.
that makes them behave a particular way and all of that? But they are you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You wanted to ask me one of the questions about society and where religion plays?
Yeah.
So we have to distinguish between religion, God, church,
Yeah.
or some religious institution.
Yeah.
So God is, as defined there, a super being or a creator or a ruler that is out in the world or that lives amongst us, whatever. Some people believe in nature as God.
Yeah.
That's what God is as a concept. God is not religion.
Yeah.
Now, religion becomes I don't know if I should read the definition. Maybe
you
for
can,
ease.
No, you can read religion.
Let's do the definition because people normally confuse religion and God.
And faith.
Okay, I'll look up faith as well. So the definition of religion is a particular system of faith and worship.
Yeah.
So it has to do with organization.
Yeah.
So once you're like, oh, this is God, we all agree.
Yeah.
How do we then organize our belief in
Yeah.
thou shalt not kill, that we're now organizing. We
Yeah.
believe there's a God, but this is now the systematic interpretation and worshipping of. That's where you'd say, let's build an institution, like a school.
Yeah.
The Oppenheimers come to South Africa, they start mining. After mining, they're like, look, we need more guys who have the knowledge we have. How do we do that in the easiest, cheapest way? Let's fund an institution. We'll call it a university. We'll call it Witwatersrand. We will give money
Yeah.
to develop what we need within a certain set.
Yeah.
Now, does this mean because you have a degree in mining engineering from Wits, you are a miner? No.
Yeah.
Does this mean if Zama, you just went down to the ground, you found gold, you're not a miner?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Mining is that thing. But now they organized mining into mining engineering as a qualification. So that institution of learning how to mine in a certain way becomes religion.
Yeah.
And then the mining itself is this, like God is God.
Yeah.
Whatever, if you believe in that.
Yes.
You don't need to go to church. You don't need to read a Bible. God is God. And then religion comes with the book, the preachers, the organization, the tithing,
Yeah.
and. Let me find the definition that you were looking for. Definition of faith. This one's going to be broad, of course. Number 1, the complete trust or confidence in someone or something. Number 2, strong belief in the doctrines of a religion
Yeah.
based on spiritual conviction rather than proof. And that second part is very, very important because
Yeah.
faith is literally believing without seeing.
Yes.
So a strong belief in the doctrines of religion, which said is organized belief in a God or the worship of a God based on something that you're not seeing. You do not need to see it. With, hey, faith, we bumped into God, upenzo.
Yes.
So
yes.
now I believe. It's like,
Yeah.
no. Faith has to do with conviction, which is spiritual and not
Yeah.
with proof. And then you've got the institution, the church, the mosque,
Yeah.
the synagogue,
Yeah.
your temple, mhlawumbe ukhonza esibayeni, emsamo, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Now, the churches, forget religion and God. The churches, for those who built them with good intentions, used to be the center of the community.
Yes.
People would go to church to connect with God.
Yes.
People would go to church to ask answers to questions that were difficult, they didn't have answers for.
Yeah.
I have drought, my cows are dying. You'd go to church because it
Yeah.
was the source of, the people here at the church, and the Vatican did this very well. They've got researchers that find out, no, there's foot and mouth disease, and we're poor. You go to the church, no, our harvest in the form of tithing,
Yeah.
10% comes here, so we can give you food,
Yeah.
but we can also give you seeds, so you can go plant and then also tithe
Yeah.
as well. So the church used to play that, and outside of physical needs,
Yeah.
there were spiritual needs. I just lost my loved one. I'm
Yeah.
grieving. Come here. We will sing with you. We will hum with you. We will give you a hug. We will feed you. We will house you. Whatever it takes for your healing, which is
Yeah.
what izangoma were meant to be or
Yeah.
are supposed to be. Physical, we are kwinyanga, a herbalist. I'm coughing. Inyanga gives you ginger. They give you honey. They give you lemon. They're like, say, go sort yourself out. You'll feel better.
Yeah.
The isangoma, you go where you're like, look, I can't think, I'm feeling low, I'm whatever. You're like, okay, let's play drums, let's sing, eat this thing, it's gonna put you in a certain state, let's inhale this thing, just to plug with the frequency, because this is not a physical ailment.
Yeah.
It's a, call it spiritual for ease.
Yeah.
The church is no longer that anymore, sadly.
Yeah.
Which is why I guess a similar argument could be made into the schooling system, which was born in the industrial age.
Yeah.
Churches now are places of, yes, for some people, spiritual refuge.
Yeah.
For those that go to sing, to escape, to maybe read the word because they didn't read it during the week on their own. But they're not solving the problems of the community.
Yeah.
And for that reason, now you end up coming up with the school. You end up coming up with social media and the cell phone. You end up, kids are going to a tavern.
Yeah.
Because if your life is so miserable and you need to escape, you are meant to go to church.
Yeah.
You're not meant to go and get drunk and high and go fuck each other recklessly.
Yeah.
You're meant to go to church, be like, I'm lost, I'm stressed, I'm depressed, I just
So
lost my
church
job.
no
Come
longer
here.
provides that.
The
Is that what you're
escapism,
saying?
the refuge, the God has a plan.
Yeah.
If you just fast, if you'll get the same high. That same high you'll get from fasting,
Yeah.
from eating this, from praying in tongues,
Yeah.
from sitting on top of a mountain like an Indian guru and just that is going to give you the same high as phuza utshwala. Manje utshwala unfortunately kuyakulimaza.
Yeah.
But it's because the church has failed in those things. And then giving the answers. You go to your pastor, your preacher, your priest, and you ask questions. They don't know. Sometimes they lean to the Bible. When they really, really don't know, they give you X.
Yes.
Only God knows.
Yes.
And you're like, that's not helping me.
Yeah.
Uyan didn't go to church. Both of us were like, we're poor. Why are we poor? I went to church. You told me to pray. You told me to tithe. You told me God knows. Uyan decided to go to school. And he acquired a skill and he went to work. Or Uyan decided to go to visit some friends, or he decided to go and tour with a band. Today he came back and he solved that problem of poverty. You're telling me to keep praying.
Yeah.
Aye, chief. And then some people are like, no, but God says prayer without action. You're like, but my pastor didn't tell me that. He just said God knows.
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
So it's up to your interpretation. And to me today, for any hardcore Christians, Muslims, Jews, Buddhists, people that believe in Zarathustra, Mormons, Amish, whatever it is that you are, Pentecostal, Lutheran, Anglican, if you are serious, you must go back to the essence of churches, not God, not religion.
Yeah.
Because that's something else. Because once we speak about God,
Yeah.
we might need to close all the churches
Yeah.
and say, God didn't say go around building churches so that people can know.
Yeah.
Once we speak about religion, you can be like, okay, then the cell phone is fine.
Yeah.
It's organized. It's what's also, I read my Bible, I watch podcasts.
Yeah.
I don't need to come to church. I don't need to tithe. I tithe via buying data. So then it becomes a problem for the church.
Yeah.
But church, similar to what happens in the Vatican City, was meant to be a library, a school, a research facility, a place to eat, a market. And the people that really believe in what churches were meant to be have dropped the ball.
Yeah.
And whether you're Venda, Christian, whatever, if being Shitsonga, Sutu, you can't go to your king, which was meant to be mhlampe your church or the palace,
Yeah.
and say, I'm hungry, I'm uneducated, I don't have skills, and you can't get it. You can then go visit the church.
Yeah.
And the church is like, we've got you. Come as you are, we've got you, we'll try you out. And you're like, you know what? I left the Zulu nation and I'm now born again Christian, because when I used to go to Misuzulu, when I used to go to Wanongoma, and I asked for inkomo, when I asked for, I was told they would
Yeah.
go slaughter a goat. With money we don't have, king. I don't understand what must happen.
Yeah.
So I decided to go into the church. My mfundisi, Dr. Miles Monroe, said, learn these things. God wants you to work. These are some of the examples in the Bible. King Solomon, who were into enterprise and trade. These were the fishermen. Go do dollar your thing. And you're like, oh, okay, I know Bible Fiddler says I must make money and stack cash like Solomon, or become rich like Job. So at least there's prescription here. And you're like, hey, the answers I got for my ailment today, I found there. So I can't.
Yeah.
When I went Loviani, because you haven't even built me an RTP.
Yeah.
For that, I ended up worshiping ANC.
Yeah.
Now Ramaphosa is my God. Ambanyo Vota. Amandla.
Yeah.
It's different stories trying to solve different problems. So the church, unfortunately, has failed.
Yeah.
But there are groups we see live today, which is why you keep saying, or why you said, I generally reference religion.
Yes.
You look at the Muslims.
Yeah.
They don't go to a king.
Yeah.
They don't go to, let's call it, a cultural leader.
Yeah.
You look at the Jews, same. They go to the church.
Yeah.
They go to the synagogue. They go to the mosque.
Yes, there's still the mosque. Yeah.
And they find their answers there.
Yeah.
Specifically the Muslims, maybe I've spent more time with.
Yeah.
When they are confused, when the woman is like, we need woman empowerment and feminism. The timer says, let's go to the imam.
Yeah.
The imam says, consult the Quran.
Yeah.
What does the Quran say?
Yes.
How do we follow the prescriptions of Prophet Muhammad?
Yeah.
And they find their answers there. Same way you're meant to be like, what does the Bible say?
Yeah.
The same way you're meant to say, njoba ngingumZulu,
Yeah.
umlando wakwaZulu thini.
Yeah.
My woman wants to be a feminist. She wants to be liberated. She wants to go and work. Is this our belief, our religion? Is this? And if the answer is no, umama kumele agade ekhaya, ubaba kumele ahambe ayolusa inkomo.
Yeah.
Then you're like, hey, Stando Sam, I see what's happening in the world. You see it, but we will then be failing our belief system. So we either stay here or we jump into something else, which for a big chunk of the world today, when you spoke about polytheism, their biggest God in their polytheism, which is real.
Yeah.
I'm Zulu, Baete, I'm Christian, Lion of Judah, Jesus Christ, money.
Yeah.
Money, the banks,
Yeah.
the Rothschilds, the Federal Reserve is the
Yeah.
biggest god in their life.
Yeah.
Because Jesus didn't say move to Joburg.
Yeah.
Misuzulu didn't say go to Joburg. Your church pastor didn't say go to Joburg.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
Money said
Yeah.
go to Joburg and twerk and bleach and change and don't go to Inyanga, go to a medical hospital. Don't go to the person that you're marrying who's educating your kids. Learn to speak English or Arabic or Mandarin.
Yeah.
That's got fuck all to do with Islam,
Yeah.
Judaism. It's got everything to do with this God we call money.
Yeah.
Which again, in the answering of questions,
Yeah.
I'm hungry, I'm
Yeah.
depressed. It's like, well, if you can get money, Faith, you can smoke a blunt. You can get money, you can go to Dubai. If you get
Yeah.
money, you can help your grandmother who's sick. So
Yeah.
this becomes the biggest God. And
Yeah.
what people don't know is these
see.
gods also have their own pastors
I see.
that dictate.
I guess also then you don't see someone being a Jew or Islam who also believes in money as a contradiction. I just like, they qualify to be polytheist, I guess.
So the short answer is they are not allowed to be.
No, but I'm saying in practice.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
And I think in practice, this is what you were saying about the
Yeah.
Christian and the
Yeah,
vendor.
yeah,
And you're right,
yeah,
which is what we're meant to ask them or ask
Okay.
their religious leaders. And then
Yeah.
they must explain.
yeah,
Ukuthi, Mfundis, you just told us there are 10
Yeah.
Zulus in your. How can there
Yeah.
be 10 Zulus when they're
Yeah.
all Christian?
yeah,
And then they must explain where in the Bible it's
Yeah.
fine to say that.
Yeah.
So similarly, the Jews and the Muslims, of which a lot of them spin it,
yeah,
because now, but we can't protect them just because they're doing better off than others.
yes,
They must also explain why they worship this God called money,
yeah,
of which some of them don't. They actually
No,
really
true.
follow.
true,
Now, whether it's Rabbi Manus Friedman
yeah,
or whatever rabbi is speaking,
yeah,
they should tell you, Guti, look, we live in a world, this maybe speaks to my last question.
yeah,
We live in a world where money is a currency.
yeah,
This is not God's currency.
Yeah.
God didn't say trade money.
yeah,
God said serve, protect, and. So what I did is I went to serve, and the people there saw value in me.
yeah,
And whereas Umfundis I'd normally get Uyan bringing a goat, Penuel brings his harvest, these guys are now saying, look, I do have goats, I do have crops. Instead of bringing these things, because the church is limited in space,
yeah,
I went to go and sell them and I'm bringing money.
Yeah.
But Pastor, this is your goat.
yeah,
This 2,000 Rand. At any given time, you can go and get a goat in the market when you're ready to eat or whatever. You can go and buy, and it becomes an intermediary, which
Yeah.
is what money was meant to be.
yeah,
So if that Jewish person or that Muslim person says, no, I worship my God.
yeah,
I work. For my work, the world out there gives me money.
Yeah.
But I don't worship money. I take it and
Yeah.
I donate and I build more. That's why they build, like this Turkish mosque in Midrand.
yeah,
That's why some of them will build the synagogues. They will do charity work because they're like,
Yeah.
this money is not mine. I'm just a vessel
yes,
for service.
for service.
But then you see some of how they live.
Yeah,
Your Middle East and some of the Jewish guys will have balling out of control. You're like, this,
Yeah.
I don't think is in the Torah and the Quran.
yeah,
Here you're now worshiping money and you must explain where does God
Yeah.
say, Lento Enzaya, this
yeah,
busy pumping the accelerator on your Ferrari or spending money on girls here, or is this in the honor of Allah, or are you
Yeah.
now engaging in materialism, which is
Yeah.
actually not serving?
yeah,
You're actually a polytheist
yeah.
and you need to find a way to reconcile.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Have you read the Torah and the Quran?
No.
Okay. You read the Bible.
The Bible, yeah.
Okay. And how are you so Penuelism then, because I'm just trying to maybe sum it up in my head. So consciousness at the center of it, does it then die at the end when you die? Or
Do I die?
no, I'm saying sort of in the physical manifestation as we understand it. So
You think I'm gonna die?
we can no longer
No, I'm just
sit-
asking, sorry. Do you think I'm going to die?
History suggests you are going to die because pretty much everyone who has been alive has kind of died.
Sure. So when I die, what happens to me? In your opinion? Maybe
Are you going
historical
to
or-
die?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I have
No,
no
that's
idea.
fair.
Yeah. But
That's
I'm just
fair.
asking you, based on what you're saying about historical, what
No,
do you
no,
think is going to
that's-
happen to me after I die?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying if we rely on the past, on what happens to living beings like us, is they end up dead, right? So
And then nothing.
I don't know about what happens. So actually, one of the things we must be comfortable with is I don't know.
Yes.
I'm learning to be a lot more comfortable with that. I don't know.
What are the options?
I don't know.
You don't have options?
No, I mean we can talk about, like, we can speculate, but I don't know.
Can you speculate?
The honest answer is I don't know.
I hear your answer.
Are you raising kids?
Can you speculate?
Yeah, I can.
Please speculate.
I'll speculate just now. I'm gonna answer.
I'm not raising my children as pendulists, no.
What are you?
So I'm not a Messiah. I'm not a pastor.
Okay.
I'm God. I exist.
For you, it's just for you, or you are not looking for followers. No.
The concept of God is not I must go preach the word. That's not what a God is or does. A God exists. Is a
No,
being.
I'm not suggesting that it does. All I'm saying is, is this just a
So what tends to
thing
happen
just for you, or you want to convince others to follow this?
So many people, obviously, understandably, because that's all they know within the paradigm, they want me to be, if I claim I'm a God, they also want me to be a Messiah, and they want me to be the evangelists spreading the gospel. Because it's like, if not you, then who?
Yeah.
When you're building a first generation business,
Yeah.
when you're starting an idea, it normally goes through a series of steps.
Yes.
And what we know again historically is a God exists, and a God breathes and starts speaking.
Yes.
And then other people then pick up the mantle to become the messiahs and the writers of the word. And I would skip that step, and then I would write.
Okay.
Instead of just speaking.
Okay, so you are
I'm first
seeking
generation
to grow that through writing.
As a social experiment, I'm saying, let me not just say, but let me also take the step of writing a base.
Okay.
Other guys will then come, the gospel of what and the gospel of what, hopefully.
Yeah.
If they don't, that's also okay. It means it was a first generation God business that didn't work.
Yeah.
And then other people can then come and say, I was saved, and give testimony. And
so if you had to guide kids on, so what's your guidance to the children? So are you saying, are you guiding them to grow in church, or are you?
My children.
Yeah.
My children are just meant to have the best human experience they can, given the dynamics of the world.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if I could get you something here. I lost it. I wanted to give you my definition of God, by the way, not the Oxford definition.
Yeah.
I can't find it here. My definition of God is that it is the software that exists in your mind.
Yeah.
That dictates who you are, where you come from, why you're here, where you're going.
Yes.
And then prescribes how you should live your daily life, your lifestyle, your culture.
Yes.
Which is then what I become. Not that super being and the
But
deity.
why don't you want to pass Penuelism to your kids?
I will. I am.
Oh no, that's what I was asking. Do you want them to believe in Penuelism?
They don't have to believe.
No, do you want them to?
With my children are unique because they come from me. Their existence is my. Their being there is my existence. It's my manifestation as being God.
So they are part of Penuelism.
So let's say my firstborn son is Adam. So because he's there, I am God.
Okay, so they are part of Penuelism through lineage.
So Buddhism is named after Buddha. Christianity is named after Jesus Christ. The others we can kind of debate. Penuelism is just the belief and the acknowledgement of me as the center.
Okay.
As the source. And whatever I say, whatever my existence is, becomes that. So I have children, I speak, I sing. It's that at the core.
Okay.
Then you can follow the principles. It's like the Christian God exists, but then you have to follow the 10 Commandments.
Okay.
Yeah. So my kids, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
My Father God.
Yeah.
But maybe he plays around with some of the commandments. Where my important thing is the commandments.
Yeah.
If my kids follow them, it's whatever, but my kids exist. So they are my kids, ingane za Penuel
Yeah.
type of situation. So
Okay.
whether they decide to be Christian or whatever,
Yeah.
because I created all of this, it's nefarious to me. It means nothing.
Okay.
But penuelism for me is, again, as a social experiment, it's me saying, again, I'm creating Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Do your kids use Bitcoin? I'm like, they use it, they don't use it. The bottom line is, you know,
not that they use it. I just wanted to know: are you trying to convince them to use Bitcoin?
No.
Right? So okay.
and if
okay.
penuelism doesn't serve them,
Yes.
I would be the first person to say, get as far away from that shit as possible. So,
Yes.
ingane za Zuma,
Yeah.
linked to the Guptas, if Bingu Zuma, or let's say your surname is Hitler,
Yeah.
closes doors,
Yeah.
your visa gets, I'd be like, oh, Gaten McKenzie told us
Yes.
the story now with his son.
Yeah.
Go change the surname
Yeah.
so that you're not linked to, because if it's something as useless as
Yeah,
changing
yeah.
your name,
Yeah.
Mark Rich, who founded Mark Rich and Company, which would then give birth to Glencore
Yeah.
and some of these other commodities, when they moved, because they were Reich, that was their surnames, like, hey, this is not gonna fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not dope. This
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
funny
yeah.
surname,
Yeah,
and it's
that-
gonna.
Yeah.
So let's change it. A lot of the guys, I mean, Benjamin Netanyahu was not born that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just change it. A lot of the Zimbabweans and stuff,
Yeah.
fair to change your surname. Go somewhere, get someone to change you to Shabalala, Kumalo.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, when we read, we're like, oh, hey, Sabazo Shabat.
Yeah.
My reception of you is changed.
Yeah.
So,
Is there
penuelism
anything
doesn't serve
else
them.
that we have not touched on in relation to penuelism that it's important that you share?
I'll close with this. Everything in life has evolved and changed and been upgraded.
Yeah.
The clothes we wear, the languages we use are being morphing every day.
Yeah.
The way we eat, the way we practice medicine, the way we travel, and but it seems like the software that defines our existence, the concept of a
Hasn't
God and
changed
religion,
too much.
are stuck.
Yeah.
And for me, that might explain why the world is not adjusting. And look, at the lowest level, people choose to be atheist, which
Yeah.
becomes a belief system to say, but that stuff is fucking old, man.
Yeah.
I'm a lesbian. I believe in AI. None of your scriptures speak to my lived existence.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, look, I'm one of the people that's saying, here's an upgraded version of that stuff. Because
Yeah.
everything else has changed. So why not
Yeah.
your belief system?
Yeah.
Usafuna ukubambela ukuthi ngumZulu, which is 200 years old because of Ushaka. I'm Christian, which is 2,000 years old because of Jesus Christ. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm offering something new. And you laugh at me, but I'm in good company because most of the
No, no,
religions,
no.
when the guys came,
Yeah.
were being laughed at,
Yeah.
crucified, uyahlanya.
Yeah.
And it just requires, like Bitcoin, enough adoption.
Yeah.
Now someone is like, I'm a penuelist, ha ha ha, I'm a penuelist, ha ha. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm a penuelist, and I think I enjoy,
Yeah.
I'm living well, testimony again.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it becomes a living, breathing belief system, and then the myths
Yeah.
and the whatever
Yeah.
comes about.
No, I think there's some code that says, first they laugh or something like that. So there's always this tendency to reduce things to absurdity.
Yes.
But at some point they become common sense, or they may become common sense.
It's the formula, and if you don't follow it, if
Yeah,
everyone is liking you and adopting you,
Yeah.
I don't think you're on the right path. There needs to be
Yeah.
some level of ridicule, and
Yeah.
it's almost like death.
Yes.
There needs to be some death or
Yes.
sacrifice, even if it's not real or it's metaphoric
Yeah.
or it's figurative, changing the name
Something must. Yeah.
to say, oh, okay,
Yeah.
or penuelism will actually thrive in the 5th or the 7th generation, or it links
Yeah.
to the 7 days of Christ.
Yeah.
That's when it will come to life,
Yeah.
because I need to die
Yeah.
for the phoenix to rise. Like, oh,
Yeah.
and just play around with story. You
No,
want to answer
Pen,
my questions?
Thank you
Aye,
very
aye,
much.
aye.
No. On a serious note,
Sounds like you're closing our
I
vibe.
want to thank you. There isn't. So one is, I genuinely wanted to come to listen on the journey you've been on down, this whole path of thinking about religion and faith and all of that. But I think also more important, your views matter, right? In the sense that you are part of the what is the political thing they say, social discourse.
Hey.
What you shape views. You have a lot of people who don't want to miss anything that, like, Pen has been part of, right? I mean, even when I was talking about citizens, I came to you basically to leverage your platform, the fact that you've got a platform that, you know, people listen to. So I'm not necessarily saying like your views matter more than those of others, but I'm also in a way saying that you know, for the extent to which you are in an influential platform role and all of that, your views matter, because human beings always had, you know, the sense of appeal to authority, the authority bias. Like, we've had this discussion, you know, if you are overwhelmed by so many things, if you find a person who says, I have thought about it, often people say, okay, I can go with this because Penuel has done the work. So I don't want to take for granted, or also even for you to take for granted, the power you have on influencing how people think about stuff. So I also appreciate that you shared with me your thinking.
Thank you.
And you know, I learned so much from the discussion. We will have part 2.
Oh, this guy.
We'll have part 2 where I will tell you my view, because this, like you said, this is not a debate.
So you're not going to answer my questions?
Not today. We'll have, because we are already on, where are we?
1 hour 40.
Where are we?
1 hour 40.
Yeah. So that's already an episode. And I don't want to do injustice to what you have shared, right? Because I think that also requires reflection, you know, so we are not in a hurry. So we'll have part 2 where if I had to answer a question, yes, I believe in God, but that will require me to
unpack
quite a lot.
Sure.
So then it will likely be another 1 hour 40, which in total will mean more than 3 hours.
Part 2. I'm gonna note the questions that I asked you while we were speaking, so that when you come back,
I've also noted a few things, you know, some of the things that I want to touch on, like even things like foreigner mentality.
Have you read Penuelism Principles?
No, actually, I was going to ask. That's the next thing I was going to ask. The only thing I'll close on is, you know, like criticizing something like what you've put down is easy because you've put something down, right? So there's a concept called anchor and drag. So once someone has put something down, then we have something to work with. And we can critique it and all of that. So the most important stuff is someone putting something out. Like the rest of us then start to sound smart and intelligent. So I don't want to spend time, because you've gone through the trouble of taking the risk of putting a thinking down that you've also accepted is an experiment. You're still kind of like trying to figure out, and that's very useful and brave, you know. So that's why I also want to be sure that I don't spend my time critiquing what you are saying. You've shared a view, and then I just want to then come on a clean slate as much as possible and share a view. You know, and you touch on important concepts like purpose and which is also crucial, faith, religion, church. So if I had to give you one answer to go away with, is yes, I believe in God.
Yeah.
And then I'm happy for us to have time and to then unpack the details.
You're going to answer the other questions which I didn't answer, if you think religion / cultural customs are a net positive or a net negative to society.
That I can answer in brief, that I think they are largely net positive for very different reasons. But I think it's Voltaire. Voltaire is not actually, is actually his pen name. His name is Francois something. Can you just search for Voltaire? He says, if God did not exist, we would have had to create him.
Francois Marie Arouet.
Yeah, there's Voltaire is a French philosopher.
French author and philosopher, yeah.
Yeah.
18th century, key figure in European intellectual movement.
So therefore, I'm more than happy to detail why we would have had to create God even if God did not exist. So therefore, I think it is a net positive, but for different reasons.
Who speaks about the death of God?
It's Nietzsche. It's Friedrich
Friedrich
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche.
Yeah. But Friedrich Nietzsche, the concept of God is dead, actually came out of, you mentioned Charles Darwin, because Nietzsche was essentially saying after Darwin published On the Origin of Species, which then start to learn concepts like evolution, survival of the fittest, and all of that, Nietzsche's issue was, guys, all of these things we used to say they are left to God. Now here is a guy who has come and published evidence that suggests otherwise. This guy has just killed God.
Hey.
God is dead, right? So that's really, that was the context. So he said that sort of just around the time when Charles Darwin published On the Origin of
1882.
Species.
Can I please read this?
Yeah.
The concept death of God refers to a theological and philosophical idea popularized by Friedrich Nietzsche
Yeah.
that God as traditionally conceived is no longer a viable
Yeah.
or relevant force in modern society.
Yeah.
It suggests a shift from belief in a transcendent active God to a more secular and human-centered worldview.
Yeah.
This idea has been interpreted in various ways, including as commentary on the rise of secularism, a call for human autonomy,
Yeah.
or a recognition of a crisis in traditional religious belief. This was all the way in 1882.
That's
all
right.
The way back.
That's right. So if you look for when did Charles Darwin publish On the Origin of Species, it is around the same.
Let me try and find it. I just want to add this to Nietzsche. Nietzsche
Yeah.
linked the death of God to the rise of nihilism, the belief that life is without objective meaning,
Yeah.
purpose, or intrinsic value.
Yeah.
Okay, let me find Charles Darwin.
I think if it's not
We
1882,
say
it will
theory.
probably be 1885. On the Origin of Species.
Okay. Proposed species change over time due to the different survival and reproduction of individuals with advantageous traits. Origin of species. 1859.
Yeah.
On the Origin of Species is
Yeah.
a work of scientific literature by Charles Darwin that is
Yeah.
considered to be the foundation of evolutionary biology.
Yeah.
It was published on 24 November 1859.
Yeah. So the concepts are around about sort of same decade. And I mean, if in history you can match things to same decade, they might as well kind of have happened at
influenced
the
each other.
same time. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you.
Before we close,
Penuel, the black pen.
my last question, and this I'm hoping you can also summarize, but we can flesh out on another day.
Yeah.
I touched on money being the most powerful god that we
Yeah.
have in life today.
Yeah.
And the money system we have has got a history. You know, we have fiat currency now, which is morphing into something else. But before that, we had the gold standard.
Yeah.
Whatever money used to be.
Yeah.
Shells, the paper money, the coins, gold pieces, silver, etc. You've got the formalization of the banking system with the Rothschilds, and before them, the Medici,
Yeah.
and maybe others. You've got the Federal Reserve now, which by and large is probably the most influential force
Yeah.
of what we define money as, even though it's meant to be the central bank of London.
Yeah.
And it has a real-time impact,
Yeah.
the dollar, on our lived reality. When we speak human trafficking, when we speak prostitution, when we speak drugs, when we speak borders, visas, travel,
Yeah.
the creation of innovations, funding certain ideas, wars,
Yeah.
the killing of people, the military-industrial complex, conflicts over land. We're speaking money today.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you if we should be looking into alternative currencies outside of this concept of money.
Yeah.
Number one is a way to sidestep poverty, because poverty, in my opinion, is a creation of the money system,
Yeah.
because animals are not poor.
Yeah.
If we look at the nature concept of poverty, we're looking, there are no trees,
Yeah.
there's no greenery, there's no water running through.
Yeah.
And for most, let's call it Africans for ease, for most Africans, when we speak nature, outside of being landless,
Yeah.
it's either because you're not willing to walk to the river to drink,
Yeah.
or you're not willing to climb a tree.
Yeah.
Or if we go agrarian, you're not willing to plant something, you're not willing to look after cows. That's why
Yeah.
you're poor.
Yeah.
Don't tell me about money, because that's a human creation.
Yeah.
But now, in the concept of money, if we play around hypothetically with this idea that money is the root of all evil,
Yeah.
at least this concept of money,
Yeah.
should we be looking into alternatives where we say, oh, okay, since Christianity is not serving us,
Yeah.
let's look into Islam. Since the money system of the rand and the dollar and the euro and the yen and the pound are not serving us,
Yeah.
what if we trade in? And now
Yeah.
one of the counters, the death of God, is crypto,
Yeah.
Bitcoin, Ethereum,
Yeah.
Ripple. But could there be other ways where we say, hey, because we're poor here,
Yes.
let's play here where we
Yes.
become rich?
Yeah. It's so a view. Now, man, there's no answers, right? All of those are valid questions, right? But to try and unpack them, you have been good at going to the origins of stuff. So what is the origin of this thing? Money, the early days of money were really trying to solve for primarily three things, but the two things are most important. Money essentially became the end of barter trade because it was trying to solve the issue of mismatch when you do barter trade. So what is a mismatch? Mismatch is I've got a goat and I'm looking for a sheep. But for barter trade to happen, I should not only find a person with a sheep, I must find a person with a sheep who's looking for a goat.
Yes.
So already I can find someone with a sheep, but they might not be looking for a goat.
Yeah.
So there's a mismatch. So I must then go around looking for a person so I must ask the person who's got the sheep to say, what are you looking for?
What do you want?
This person will say, I'm looking for a bag of millies.
Yes.
Right? Then I must go around with my goat trying to find someone with a bag of millies
Yes, who wants
that's
a goat.
looking for a goat.
Yes,
So
yes.
you can see that essentially
That's
that was the
logistical
issue.
nightmare.
Barter trade because it became a logistical nightmare because of this mismatch.
And it doesn't push innovation, by the way,
doesn't.
because
It's-
you're normally
absolutely.
meant to barter things. You have a
Yes,
shortfall.
yes.
And if you know you're going to need sheep, you end up becoming a sheep farmer
Absolutely.
to avoid that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So therefore, the early currencies, whether it was stones or whatever, it was trying to solve that problem. It was, what is something that we all agree on that it can be a measure of value, so that when I find someone with a sheep, I can give them this thing, but they must believe that if they find someone with a bag of millies, that person will also, right?
Medium of exchange is the official
Medium
term.
of exchange, right? This is really why for people my generation, they will remember that a banknote used to say, this is to certify that. So it was not just a paper with signature. If you search for the old 5 rand or
The
old
bearer
20
of
rand,
this note.
it will say the bearer of this is to certify that the bearer of this note can rock up in Pretoria and demand 5 francs worth of gold or whatever. It was a certificate. It was a bank note. This is why it's called a bank note. It is a note from a bank saying if someone gives you this certificate at any point in time, you can come to Pretoria and exchange it. So it became a medium of exchange, the store of value and all of that. So
That's the other important one.
that's the other important
That
one.
it was a
right?
store of value.
The store of value.
Which this is now one goat.
Absolutely.
We can now quantify.
We can whatever. So the debate about
What
whether
was the third one? Do you remember? Minimum of exchange, store of
there's
value.
a third one. I forget it. We
Okay,
can
it doesn't
look
matter.
up.
You can carry on.
And so therefore, what we call money today, even if we say, do we need alternatives? The question is whether it can serve the purpose that money emerged for, right? So that's why you hear some of the debates now in things like crypto to say it might be good and well that it is a store of value because there's a limited supply and all of that. But there are people trying to put solutions together on using it as a store, as a medium of exchange, right? So I know Pick and Pay was testing something like accepting crypto in some of
I
the
remember that.
stores or whatever.
Sorry, a unit of account is the third one.
Yes. So
Store of value, a minimum exchange,
yeah,
and it
so
must
we
be a
can
unit
have
of
a
account.
consistent way of saying your business is worth this much. You've made this much in sales, all right? So then it became a consistent way of accounting. So don't worry about whether we're talking money or crypto or whatever. The question is, will this thing be able to solve these things that need to be solved, right? Today, crypto has not quite solved the medium of exchange thing because it continues to be slower than
If I give you a
than
Bitcoin,
cash.
you can't go and get something
You
else.
can't
'cause
get
the person might
something,
not
whatever. But also,
it becomes the goat.
the immediacy of it is a challenge because it still requires quite a lot of resources today and servers and all of that. So, like in my banking days, we also struggled with replacing cash in some instances. Forget even when we had a card, right? In KFC, they were able to prove that queues where people are paying cash move faster than queues where some people are paying with card.
Jeez.
Card introduces friction, some level of friction that does not
Exist with cash.
The extent to which people transact with in cash with ease
Yes.
is still not matched by a lot of even the very established
For some of us, the anonymity of cash is such a huge selling point.
There are many
I
places
don't want
where
people to know I bought tomatoes.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's tomatoes from Umama in Soshanguve.
Absolutely.
But now you know I was in Soshanguve. You
Absolutely.
know I was in front of Lomama.
Yes.
I don't want you to know that.
Absolutely. There are a lot of places where like I prefer to withdraw cash and pay than
Sure.
like
Then
create
swipe.
a trail that says
This is what you were
I
doing.
was here.
What were you doing here?
So
Eh?
anyway,
Uswipe? Hey!
but we can have those discussions. You are maybe to close. I think if there is one big takeaway, not only for me but like for everyone. I mean, I know you're also a big fan of Troy, right? So
Troy, the movie.
the movie.
Okay.
Right? The opening line is by Odysseus.
Inkosi malanga zangempela.
And the opening line says, men are haunted by the vastness of eternity.
Yes.
So we ask ourselves, will our actions echo across centuries? Will people remember our name and what we stood for? I mean, I'm probably paraphrasing now. How bravely we fought and how fiercely we laughed, right? Laughed.
Sure.
You can read the verbatim of it, but
No, I wanted to read something else.
yeah. So that's essentially like this thing. Whether you're talking about the philosophers of the Greek ages and sitting along the Parthenon and all of that. There were people who spent time sitting down, like maybe today we call them mama para or whatever, but or the loafers or the unemployed.
Utabo Aristotle Amapara.
But it could be because no one knows what was his job, right? They were like
discuss with Pythagoras.
Just like reflecting on these things, right? So we are following in that tradition of, but
That's what we're doing here.
that's what we're doing here. Like, so the fact that you spend time
Being a para.
being
Philosopher.
philosopher.
Naval Ravikant says, pay the world whatever price it wants from you to leave you alone to think.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and thinking just requires a level of discipline. Forming views requires a level of discipline that a lot of people don't have.
It's too expensive. You told us this last time.
Other than being too expensive, it requires discipline. So for example, let me give you a quick example. I can give you two quick examples. So let's take the example of foreigner mentality or immigrant attitude or whatever, right? So here's one of the things that, so if I went around and say, I'm looking for Zimbabweans, right? Then I'll say, okay, what views can I form about them? Oh, no, they come here, they rob this and whatever, right? No, that's the first level thinking, and I can work on that basis. And obviously, I will then go through confirmation bias.
Of
I'll
course.
find the stories that affirms that.
Yes.
One of the biggest challenges with being foreign, of making sense of foreigners, and the reason why you can never rely on what you know about them as the basis of forming views about people from any country. So let's take South Africa as an example. What is the problem with forming views on Zimbabweans? The problem with immigrants is in another country, you end up with the best and the worst. You never end up with the ordinary Zimbabweans.
Yes, the ordinary never leaves Zimbabwe.
No, also, even if they wanted to leave Zimbabwe, they can't come here because there is no legal way for an average nurse in Zimbabwe to end up in South
I hear
Africa
you.
because the laws don't allow an average person to come here.
Yes.
So who do you end up with? You end up with people who either come with exceptional skills, i.e. skills that South Africa considers, what do they
Scarce
say?
skills.
Scarce skills. So therefore, you're going to end up with very smart people, most likely, because that's why those skills are scarce.
Yes.
That's one group, which is an extreme group, right? Or you're going to end up with people who say, screw the rules and
Yes.
the laws and whatever, I'm going to find my way to South Africa. So you're going to end up with criminal elements.
Of course.
So the basis of you forming views on foreigners or immigrants and whatever is distorted because it is operating with the two extremes. Those two extremes leave out 90% of Zimbabweans who are not killing each other, not raping each other. They don't have the highest level of crime that we associate with immigrants and all of that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying thinking requires, because if someone says, okay, what Zimbabweans have you come across? You say, oh, I've come across this. It was either a thug or it was a professor at university.
Yeah.
But then on the basis of that, you form views on Zimbabweans.
Those are Nigerians in America. Some of the most celebrated PhDs in America are Nigerians.
Absolutely. So that's why I'm saying, just to say I have seen evidence of something is in itself not even enough to form a compelling view.
Correct.
You must say, okay, even though I have seen this, what have I not seen? What you have not seen is more than 90% of Zimbabweans that are not in South Africa.
Correct.
And if you ask the question, okay, if we associate them with violent crime and whatever, surely Zimbabwe must be dealing with the highest level of violent crime.
They don't.
And they don't.
200, there's very little crime there.
Very little crime.
Yeah.
You know, car theft is very low in Zimbabwe. But that's why I'm saying, like, thinking and forming views. So a lot of people don't have the discipline to be able to say, you know, like, this is why they say often when you ask the question, you arrive at the first truth.
Yes.
But very people say, okay, is this the only truth?
Most people just accept
People
that first
just
one.
stop there.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, then from this point in time, if this is true, everything else is wrong.
This is what I was saying. It's expensive because you told us how much energy.
It's 2% of the body, but consumes up to 20%.
The brain is 2% of the body,
Yeah.
but consumes 20% when it's
switched
operating.
on. Yeah, absolutely.
Which means we're chowing resources.
Yes.
And what you said is people will go for the easiest answer so that they don't consume
Absolutely.
energy. So they're criminals, they cash in transit. Okay,
Yes.
I can't go further because now I'm going to be
Yes.
chowing more.
Yes. And so if there was anything, so for example, when you say I went and tried to seek purpose, and I did not find it, you said something that's very interesting. There is no purpose, right? And which in itself is, yes, it might be true that there is no purpose, but it might also be that you have not found your purpose.
I'm lazy. I stopped
The
somewhere.
fact that you have not found your purpose does not mean there is no purpose. And this is also part of the problem when people often argue against like science versus God and all of that. So science, I've said this before in our discussion, science prides itself with ignorance. Science has got no issues with we don't know. There are people often defending science. Actually, they defend it more than scientists themselves.
That's correct.
The poster boy of science was Einstein. Einstein believed in God. We can talk about what type of God he believed in. But you will find someone who believes in science, which is actually the poster boy is Einstein, but he will defend it more than Einstein himself. Right? So it seems like what we are dealing with actually is not competition of knowledge versus ignorance. The most dangerous people, in my view, are people with little knowledge.
Yes.
They are more dangerous than the most knowledgeable people. So science has never said God does not exist. It has never ever said that.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Science cannot say that.
That would be unscientific.
Yeah, that would be so unscientific. It has never ever said that. All that science can say is if someone asked a question when we're saying, can we prove that God exists? We have not been able to prove that God exists.
As yet.
That does not say God does not exist or does exist. It doesn't say that. So sometimes I feel like science, people say some very ignorant things.
Yes.
But they make it sound like it
believe
comes from
the science.
No, it's like
a scientific
recent
fact.
thing when someone says, I defend Israel because I'm Christian. I'm like, really? Do you know that Israel is not Christian? It's not predominantly Christian. Like Jewish people are not Christian. They also just reject the concept. So you can't say I'm justifying my defense of Israel because I'm Christian. Like maybe use so. That's why I'm saying, like, if I had to choose between people with no knowledge and people with little knowledge, I would say the most dangerous people are people with very little knowledge.
The people in power, by the way, invest billions of dollars in ensuring that people remain ignorant.
Yeah.
Hence the social medias and the what to be like, we can't allow these people to be so bored, amapara, that their minds start playing around.
Absolutely. So the pride of science is ignorance. Science, the basis of it is we do not know.
We do not know, so we want to try find out.
Even what we call scientific facts, there is actually no such. Like we say these things loosely. Science always works on the basis of this is what we know at this point.
And
Science
can prove and can measure.
But at this point in time, right? I think it was also Nietzsche who said something like scientific facts are yet to be unproven views, right? So it's a holding view. At some point, Earth was flat.
Normally based on a lot of assumptions.
That was fine to work with at a point in time until someone comes with. So science has got nothing that it wants to hang on to for life and death and whatever. So I find that a lot of people who use science as a reason for something, and probably the most traumatic is actually science in itself is actually a form of faith because it's worshipping of evidence.
Yes, that is correct. Within a controlled environment with assumptions.
It's worshipping of evidence.
Yeah.
Right? So even so that's why they say even the people who say they believe in science, they are a lot more religious than they think because they are saying, "Show me evidence." It's like the Thomas of the Bible,
Sure.
right? You are worshiping is the worship of evidence, and so you will find that as you understand a lot more about a lot of advanced scientists. Got to a point where they could not rule out the idea of supernatural being, right? Almost without exception. So when people tease science, because much of science starts with the Big Bang Theory, right? Like, so there was a big, and that's why it's called a theory, right?
Yes. And not a Big Bang fact.
Yeah. So when they tease them, they're like, it was as if science said, give us just one miracle,
yes,
and we will take it from
here. Yeah.
So
there's no proof of the Big Bang.
No.
Zero.
They accept that, but they said, well, I wonder if we can start with this one. The rest we can work with.
Yeah.
So you will find that some of these things are just play on words, whatever. But so thank you for taking the chance to deal with this, the haunting of the vastness of eternity, including questions around, why are we here? Does it matter? Does it not matter? Don't give up on finding purpose. And I don't think, as I said, don't say there is no purpose. It is probably best to say, I have not found it yet. And then I'll come back and tell you why I believe in God. Thank you so much.
Before we finish, movie Coco, animated movie, touches on the concept of death.
Yeah.
It speaks about 3 deaths. This is now linked to Troy.
Yeah.
The first death is the physical one, the death of the body.
Yeah.
The second death is more of a natural one, the moment the body is finally laid to rest in the earth and returned into nature's cycle.
Yeah.
And then the third death provides the focus in the film Coco and is the most definitive. The moment the last memory of you fades.
Yeah.
Jan Moganwa.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining me, sir.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thanks to the team.
Shout out to Kavi.
And they didn't.
Thank you, Lord.
And they didn't want to say us. Thank you, Lord. They didn't want to share their views today, but we'll get them speaking another time. Thanks so much.
Thank you.